3, 2, 1.
今夜もミュージック君へのラッキー笑い合って抱き合って幸せにほらなれるように
Big Time Rush sucks. Hello.
That was the worst intro I've ever heard.
Start
in my
the intro.
life.
No, we start the intro from. We start the episode with right when Kraft said, "I have an intro for this," so we get to hear the fucking
boomer ass boomer. Look at you, old
Sorry,
ass
you
You
man.
got Alzheimer's already.
Damn it! I was gonna make that. Fuck! I hate you all. I'm ending the episode. Hello. Thank you for
Boomer,
listening.
okay, boomer.
I hate you all.
I'm Vindy.
I'm God.
All right, play the OP for. Let's just get into it. Cautious Hero.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay, boomer.
We're shouting, oh yeah, yeah, yeah! For the glory, oh yeah, yeah, yeah!
Look, I just want everything to end. That's why I polluted the planet.
All right. I liked Cautious Hero this week. I thought it was good.
I think it's
Man.
funny because every single week I've enjoyed Cautious Hero more than MHA, and the one week that Cautious Hero is like at its weakest, MHA wasn't there.
And now the. Wait, do you think that? Well, I guess I can ask you again, but do you think that ranged true again for this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Little bit. Just a little
I'd
bit.
put. See, this is how good I think this week was. Cautious Hero was like. This is one of my favorite episodes of Cautious Hero, I think. And I still think it was the weakest this week. And this is to be fair, this is the first week I think it's the weakest. But I thought it was the weakest
Well,
one this
Boku
week.
last
Hero
week there was no
started going into
MHA,
good
so-
shit.
That's because MHA made me fucking cry. What? Okay.
Well, it did the moment that made me cry, and then I was like, I don't know, because I just remember.
Okay. We're talking
We'll
about
get
Cautious
into
Hero, though.
that later.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought it was funny because we were talking last week about how, like, oh my god, his ideals might actually be challenged, you know? We're going to have to see him pick friendship and choose the different... And that did kind of happen at the end. But
Well,
the part that I loved that got me was I was expecting the same thing where Starte did, where he was like, yeah, like, they're my friend, I don't want him to die. But it was just, she's my bag carrier, I don't want her to die.
She's my slave. Duh.
Yeah. I think I like because obviously the build-up is like, yeah, it's so obvious I don't even need to say it. It's just like, you dumb bitch. And then what got me is when like fucking she was being walked away, and then Seiya's just like behind them, and it's like, you sneaky bitch.
He just appears there.
He just kicks them away.
Well, I loved because then he knocked 3 more guys down, and they all landed in a pile next to the Dragon Queen. It was so funny.
Here's my question: was it for all the scalies out there that for no reason they did the epic anime light beams? to
Yeah,
cover up?
okay, so she was clothed, and then it did another shot, and she was naked, right?
Yeah. How did that make you feel, Vindy?
Well, I'm not a scaly. I was just confused. I was like, did I miss her
Oh,
taking
yeah,
off her
that's right.
clothes?
This
What
ep-
happened?
Oh,
I was so
specifically though. Specifically, you're a
But why
scaly,
does
huh?
lizard have breasts? They're not mammals. They don't need breasts.
Because it's hot. Shut up, Craftsdwarf.
Oh,
That's
I see.
not true in this case whatsoever.
I see, Vindy. You're not as scaly, huh? You're not
No.
into those scaly
You're not
women.
scaly. You just want to suck those lizard boobs. Okay, gotcha.
Yummy, yummy. Mommy crocodile milkies.
Vindy.
Okay.
I am
We need to
kicking
kick
you off
Vindy
this
off the
fucking
podcast.
No, you're fucking
podcast.
not.
You are 100%.
This
I am
podcast
scared.
would lose 100% of its degeneracy
Really?
if I was gone, and you know that.
I'm here, and Craftsdwarf is
Okay,
here.
I'm
Together
sorry. This
we are-
podcast would lose 60% of its degeneracy.
No,
if
you
I
would
left.
lose. We would lose a third because we have here tummy punch loving lolicon, idol boy, and scaly furry. It seems like so.
I'm way
whatever.
more than just a scaly furry. Don't
Yeah.
don't
that's
contain
true.
me in your tiny words.
Look, Vindy. By Craftsdwarf's own words, back when the BSA was a thing, he heard all of us talk about our fetishes and still said he had the worst ones. Meaning there are things we do not know about. Meaning he is a secret, disgusting person. We just don't know yet.
Sad.
He's like a
right.
fucking monster waiting to be released, like the fucking sword that wasn't actually at the bottom of
One
the
day.
abyss.
Hey, Hey.
Hi.
Yes.
I like the part where Rista was on the ground and she's like, I'm fucking paralyzed, but I'm also happy. Cause Seiya was
there
being
were so
a
many
cool
good
boy.
faces.
Dude, I love how fucking she will, like, at the tiniest glint of Seiya being a good person, she's like immediately like, please take me back to your fucking room and fuck me now. It's so funny.
Now,
But when the actuality of it is that Seiya would take her back to her room and take like thousands of her
Just
hairs.
shave her head.
actually, so here's the question though. So during the conversation, he was talking about like at the end, he mentioned plucking her hairs. The camera then pans down to like her crotch area.
Why did it do that?
I thought
the
it was
same
just saying.
thing.
I thought it
The
was
twist.
just showing that he was looking at her legs.
No, listen. I think there's a twist here. Notice how there are no hairs missing from the top of her head, but he said he had 100 hairs that he used.
I thought the
Do you
same
think he's
thing. Fuck
taking
you.
her-
I hate it. I hate it.
Pubic hairs.
Yes,
That'd be
he's doing
rad.
her a service.
That'd be so funny. Are you kidding me? I would
It's
love
totally
that.
gonna be the twist, 100%. Like that was some big foreshadowing there. That's gonna be the twist of the season, man.
No, it was some big leg shadowing.
But yeah,
Alright,
I liked how he was fed like, oh look, us children, lizard children, made you cookies, and he fucking vomited them up. Like,
He made them cry.
Well, I knew that was coming because it showed him wiping his mouth, and I remember thinking like he totally just spit those cookies out.
see, I was thinking like, wow, you're not being very cautious right now, but no, it was a ruse.
Oh no, I was so
Yeah,
ready
no.
for it. I was like, those cookies are poisoned, and he totally just spit them out. Because
Everyone-
like the reason I noticed it was because when they were all drinking wine, he was drinking from a water cup.
Everyone in this fucking universe is everybody in this fucking world they're trying to save is cautious.
Right.
She's like,
That's why it's
haha.
an S class.
Is this cautious scaling? Seiya wins.
Wow, Craftsdwarf, that was a good video. You really should pursue power scaling. You're so smart.
Possible reality warping in Love Live.
That's real though. That's real. It's not even a joke.
Yeah, it's definitely not editing on a music video or anything.
No, listen, Vindy, this is the same series where Honoka Kosaka looked up at the sky, it was cloudy, and said, "Fuck off, rain," and it fucked off. This is the same
God, I wish he actually said "fuck off, rain" in English. Nothing would make me happier.
Umi Sonata factually broke the sound barrier by throwing a pillow. They said it. They said it was supersonic pillow. They said it, and it happened, and the visual showed a supersonic pillow. Meaning, this feat is plausible.
Can
Yeah.
we have a fucking podcast without it evolving into Love Live? No.
No,
You
because
have
Love the
me
Way.
on here. What makes you think it's never gonna have Love Live in it every single time?
But Love Live isn't the two pillars of the Weeb Club. We'll talk about the two pillars when we get to Beastars.
Why are there only
um,
two pillars? There's three of
There's
us.
two main pillars. There's two main pillars.
Oh
of
yeah,
the Weeb Club.
yeah. You're
Yeah,
right.
but we'll talk about when we get to Beastars.
Oh, I liked. Okay, it's hard to choose a favorite part because there were a few funny ones, but I liked after he killed Levia, the fucking dragon queen.
Dead
bitch.
bitch.
And he's like, this is a win-win, and the lizards were like, is it
Yeah,
though?
I guess.
And he's like, it's a win-win.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're done. We gotta leave. Bye.
Yeah, you just go. So funny. I think my favorite part is when he's eating because like he bought all the seeds, right? And I was like, he's definitely gonna eat them. I didn't expect him to shove them in his mouth like a fucking chipmunk and just sit there with these massive puffed out cheeks. That was so fucking funny.
What a fast boy.
Yeah, character development. Seiya's making the stupid faces now.
Is this facial expression?
I mean, that's the thing though, is there was actual character development, like, because he even said like that's the thing is like, I think he like. There's definitely gonna be a thing that shows up where like Seiya's just kind of putting on appearances in some ways and trying to be cool, because like he definitely didn't just save Alulu because she's his bag carrier, because he even says at the end he's like everything will be okay in the end, like we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like there definitely is like some aspect of like he sees them as his friends and wants to protect them. He's just kind of like putting on this act of why. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
probably going to be something later on down the line. Hopefully, it goes through with it. Hopefully, we can only hope.
Or hopefully we even get there by the end of the season, you know.
Yeah,
'Cause I assume
I think
it's
it
still
would
an
be really
ongoing
annoying
series.
if we didn't kind of get to the core like stuff. Well, I mean, what, he's killed 2 of the 4, and
Yeah,
we're
that's the
halfway
thing. It's
through
like, because, okay, so the first 2 episodes were the first one. The second 2 episodes were the second one. These 2 episodes were the Dragon Queen, who is like another really strong enemy, but not one of the part of the Demon Lord forces. So that leaves 6 episodes. Like, it could end. 4 more episodes for the last 2 of the Demon, and then the last 2 episodes for Demon Lord. Like, is it over? Probably not. So it's probably not gonna end. I'm gonna look it up real quick because
I kind of hope it does end there though, because like that would, like, I feel like this show, if it goes any longer than like a 12, 13 episode run, would really start to lose a lot of its charm.
Well,
the novel is still ongoing.
They're saying something interesting. Those guys at the end of the Demon Lord dudes, they're saying that like they have the power to fight the gods.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's what I mentioned earlier, where it's like, oh, that would this is S-Class, it's we're focusing on this story out of all the other like worlds being saved in this setting where God saved multiple worlds. This is the one we're hearing about, so it just makes sense that they're gonna go fuck up that godly realm. Like, why else introduce all these characters up there? Because they're gonna
here.
So yeah, somehow they're gonna get involved. And this last episode is like you're putting them on the level of gods. So yep.
I've been trying to think. I again, like, this was like my least favorite, and I think it was the one where even though stuff happened, I think my problem with Gosh here at this point is just like I feel like there's almost not enough to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, the
last thing
episodes
I
are
have to say-
entertaining and they happen, but like there's not a lot to actually discuss.
Oh,
The last thing I was gonna say is
because
because Elulu was willing to sacrifice herself and stuff, and the fucking Dragon Queen was like, oh boy, we get to sacrifice, and like fighting to do it. Like, literally, they're just fighting to give, say, a sword, like, because they want the glory of doing it. And I for a moment at least, it seemed like she was sacrificed for that, and that was satisfying, even though it didn't actually happen. Because I don't know, fuck that. If you're not willing to sacrifice yourself, then you're a bitch for asking other people to do the sacrifice for you. Is, I don't know, just a personal thing, I guess.
That's a quote from something.
I hope not, because that was awfully worded and awkward and like rambling.
No, like the idea was quoted from something. It's like, if you're not willing to die, don't be like. Oh yeah, no, that's fucking Code Geass. I was thinking fucking.
Such good writing from Code Chaos.
So yeah, actually, yeah, Craftsdwarf, you should be proud that you had it worded shittily like that, because it's Code Geass.
I'll watch it one day, maybe.
One day.
What a fucking series.
It's worse than Anohana.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's true.
Well, you gave Anohana a lower score.
Oh, I did? I
Yeah.
don't know. Oh, wait, no. Because Code Geass is funnier.
Well, I also think Code Geass has a decent like first 11 episodes and then drops hard.
Code Geass also has hotter girls.
That's true. You get to see Callan naked, and Callan is so hot. Okay.
Oh, here's my last question. Craftsdwarf, what do you think of the lolly?
She exists. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
She's sad, and she has the sad face that I posted hopefully for the episode thumbnail. Why?
Uh-huh.
No, don't use
Wow.
the
Wow. See, you just like, oh, you must like the loli, haha. No, bitch, I have tier lists for this shit, and Elulu is low.
Oh my god. How many subs do we need to get before the end of the year for you to reveal your lolly tier list?
That was a joke, but fuck. If we get 1,000 by the end of the year, I'll make
If we
one.
get 1,000 by the end of the year, Craftsdwarf has confirmed he will stream lolly tier list.
Well,
At
I'm
the
not
Oh
gonna
my
stream
God.
it, but I'll make it.
This has to happen.
It will happen somehow. If
We'll
it happens by the end of the year.
extracurricular on the lolly tier list.
Lolly tier list. Fuck, I have to
Alright,
make a
move
lolly
on.
tier
Let's
list.
move on
Nah,
to-
we're not getting 1,000 subs.
Alright,
You're out your
Speaking of
mind.
fetishes, let's move on to Vindy's.
Woo! This episode was so good.
It was very
Vindy,
good.
Do
Because
you
holy
resonate
shit.
with Lugosi's drive to read some rabbit porn?
God. Okay. Okay. I took some notes on this episode.
I'm gonna just
We're not gonna talk about. Okay.
lay back
The first thing
here.
I want to say, because this is the first thing in the episode. Did you notice what everything that was shown on the TV was drawn like 2D instead of being 3D CG since it's on a television?
Yeah.
Fucking good.
That is
I-
good. Yeah.
I think that was the first time I actually like saw it and was like, oh my god, wait, that's 2D. But it was super cool that like what was on a TV was 2D. And then my other notes, I love the way Lugosi pats Jack's head because he's a dog, and then just I love Lugosi. So
How come rabbit porn wasn't in your notes?
because I can't type with one hand.
Oh. 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 Yeah.
That was good.
Club president, can I talk to you for a second? Can I talk to you? Vindy, I'm gonna take Craftsdwarf over here. We're just gonna
All right,
talk
cool.
privately. Hold on, okay. Craftsdwarf, we need to talk. We need to kick him out.
What's up?
We need to figure something out, man. We need to like.
See, do you hear him laughing over there? Like, what is
Yeah.
he laughing at? It doesn't
I
make
know.
any sense.
He's just laughing at himself. He's deranged. He's sick.
Maybe you have a point.
Like, oh, what do we
See,
do?
Hero
now?
was thinking I should just kick both of you out, but now
That's not what. Not me. Don't kick me out. Without me,
Well, who the fuck else? I'm not gonna kick myself out.
why would you want to kick two people? Just kick one person.
What if we kicked no one?
Why
What
are
the
you
fuck?
here? I told you we were talking privately. Get back over there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, Vindy, here's another question for you since you
All right.
rudely interrupted. What do you think about that cute wolf girl? Wolf girl.
So what agrees that she's cute?
I mean, like in the sense that dogs are cute,
I-
yes.
Can't say anything about Juno because all my thoughts about Juno are seeped in things that happen later in the manga.
Oh no.
So like no, it's all good stuff and her
Okay.
character's great. I don't think I can talk about her without like she was barely in this episode. So all I'll say is like it's cool that there's another gray wolf that Lugosi knows
they
because of the
fuck?
kind of idea of like that's brought up in the episode where like Lugosi has this thing for like Haru, right? But like that can be directly challenged by this other gray wolf now that's in the drama club and is 1 year as junior that everyone says is cute, right? Like with like inside the context of the series, right? Other characters are cute, so we can assume she's this physically attractive other gray wolf that obviously like thinks pretty highly of Lugosi after what happened, and I think it's an interesting challenge, especially the way like Lugosi saves her from being bullied, the same way he saved Haru from being bullied earlier. You know what I mean? Like
What a fucking chat.
I love that scene, by the way. Like the way he was like running through what to do and the solution he kind of had was great. But like I think that's like the coolest thing right now about Juno is like this idea of like she is here, especially with like at the end, right? The way like Panda Chad was like, it's just your natural instincts for predation are kind of telling you that you're in love with her when you really just want to eat her. And so now he has this direct challenge of, does he have feelings for Haru or does he just want to eat Haru and will he have feelings for Juno? You know?
Do you want a taste of Haru? Or do you want a taste of Haru? You know what I'm saying?
But Craftsdwarf, what did you
Vindy,
think
you
of
know-
the episode?
Well, what I want to say about Juno was that like they had a conversation, and I wanted to write down every line of it because every line of dialogue was interesting. Like, because Lugosi has more experience with being a carnivore in this environment, and Juno is obviously new to it, and so I don't know. It's just like it was just an interesting talk that they had.
Yo, cool bird boy didn't eat any meat.
Okay, are we going to talk
Bird
about the
Boy.
black market?
Well, see, I want to give What the chance to talk because otherwise, me and Vindy are just gonna jack off.
Well,
I've already done that.
That's why I don't talk, because you two just sit here and all I hear is just Lugosi.
Well, I can't even argue the truth.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, like aside from that, there like okay, yeah, see there it is. I don't have a lot of thoughts. I was like, yeah, that was good. You said most of them because the rest of what I have to say is about the black market and how that weird, whatever the deer man was, and the corner was like, please suck on my fingers, and I was like, oh, okay.
We talked about that a bit before you got here because you were late.
Yeah, okay. Let's get this out of the way. So, what messages us about like an hour and a half maybe before we start recording, and says, "Hey, 6:30, can we record?" Okay, we don't start recording until 6:48. So he made us wait 15, almost 20 minutes because he doesn't know how to work a computer.
That actually was a lie, but okay.
Okay, well, What was a lie about that?
Okay, Mr. Scary Virus Man.
I didn't actually finish watching the episode because I was too busy doing stuff.
Oh my god, you were finishing it, and that's what the.
I mean,
You
I was finishing
loser.
it, and you two were finishing each other off. So, like, whatever.
Well, now I have no regrets about talking about the Beastars episode. So I kind of called it a couple episodes ago when I talked about, herbivores selling blood. Except, like, it came out up like, there's this homeless guy. Oh no. Because, yeah, I was that. Like in my notes I have the quote, or just pick any finger you like, and I just have like, ah! And then after that I have the black market, ah! Like, cause like before I knew what it was, I just saw all these like, legs, all this meat, and I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, this happens, and then they explained it, it's already dead, meat from, funeral homes and hospitals and stuff. So it's like, okay, or amputations.
Still kind of
surgeries.
gross, man.
No, it's hella gross. But at least they're not
I'm
like
not down for
murdering
that.
people and selling their meat. Or I don't know. It's very fucked up. But it's.
I don't know about you, but if I was a carnivore, I wouldn't be sucking on that man's fingers. I'm not down
But
for that.
it's not just that, like, it's actually eating, right? Because, like, carnivores have this, and like, that's what was so cool, I think, about the way the anime showed it, is, like, it's showing the fact that, like, when it gets near Lugosi, he doesn't actually even see it anymore. Like, the smell of, like, meat and the fact that it's been eaten is, like, so strong for him instinctually that he, like, can't actually, like, focus on what's in front of him because all he can think about is his, like, natural instincts.
Of course, the power of pussy is stronger than the power of hunger. And he thought about
Well-
Haru real fucking hard, and he was like, yes.
I think
grab the pussy.
it's pushing Lugosi and Juno together because Beastars is about eugenics, as our favorite YouTube philosopher told us.
It's about eugenic, 'cause dog is the smartest boy.
God,
How does this happen every single fucking
Look,
time?
here's the
Every
problem with that
single
thought,
fucking
right?
time.
You're already making the jump to eugenics, and it's missing the point of Beastars, right? Because Beastars, what it talks about with the animals is that these animals have innate differences between each other that gives them benefits. So it's not saying dogs are bred to be smarter, so dogs are smarter, so eugenics. What it's saying is dogs are smarter, so they exceed in school. That's the whole point that it's fucking making. The only reason you don't have, like, dolphins is because marine life is a whole other fucking thing. So, like, the idea that, like, it's preaching eugenics when it's literally saying, that's like saying that, like, Lugosi could eat Haru tiny weak, Lugosi big strong, eugenics. It's like you miss the entire fundamental point of the fucking series.
They say that, like, the first thing you think about when you see something is evident of your own mindset. Do you guys think that because you immediately jumped to eugenics that Rika is pro-eugenics?
Well, I think that art is an expression of the artists behind it, and in turn, a reflection of the ones engaging with it.
That's what it said? It said reflection?
Well, I knew that immediately. You're
That's
just
definitely
stupid.
what
I
it
thought it
says.
said
No, that's definitely reflection.
Look, I had to stare at it and I couldn't figure out
no,
what
that's
it
definitely
said.
reflection.
Well, that's because you're stupid.
He not as big dumb anime PNG.
Why would you make
was
a
sitting
thumbnail
over it.
and put a character over the text? I don't understand. Okay,
Why would you write a novel in your thumbnail?
all right. But yeah, I love the idea of the black market, and I love that, like, it even talks about how, like, adult carnivores, like, the reason that they can be well-adjusted in society is because they all go to the black market and eat meat all the time, so that then they can be around herbivores in society and not feel this constant urge to eat them. And I think that's, like, a super cool idea.
No, yeah, it's definitely it's interesting, and of course, like, it's just taken at this fact. So obviously, like, Lugosi will be the and even fucking Alba too, the hawk or the eagle rather. Why did I say hawk? Where at the end they're like, yeah, I didn't feel like it, because Bill, he was like, oh boy, we get to eat a finger. If we all pull in our money, we can do it.
Right. Well,
Like-
He was really happy about that homeless man finger. I was like, bro.
Well, Bill
like,
is-
you're
Bill
gonna
is-
eat some meat.
Bill is great because Bill is someone who's already, like, accepted that he's a carnivore, kind of. And so he's like, okay, I'm a carnivore. I have carnivore needs. Cool. That's it, right? He's like, I'll eat meat. I'll drink blood.
Yeah,
I'll do what I need to do.
Right. Well, because he very much doesn't like he was talking about his sort of sex life, and apparently his partner basically said, like, he doesn't bed like he cares about the other person at all. Like, he's a very incredibly self-centered person.
Right.
So And it makes sense that it's that way with his food too, where it's like he doesn't care who he has, that he's eating other people. It's food. It tastes
really
good.
says a
It's
lot
the
about
best
our
food. He's a
society.
carnivore. It doesn't matter, So yeah, I didn't hear what you said. What?
I said this really says a lot about our society.
We live in a society.
poor
Capitalism. We eat people. I don't fucking know.
Poor man just wants to get his dick wet and eat some homeless man fingers. Really says a
Well,
lot.
I love Beastars so much. I love the way that like Lugosi is like being challenged for his thoughts on Haru, right? And like the panda even says, like, you might just have this fetish for small animals, but it's probably just your feelings of predation, which make a lot of sense when you consider that Lugosi's his first two interactions with Haru were he tried to eat her, and then she was the first person to treat him like a male instead of treating him like a gray wolf. So it's like a great way to set up like how conflicted he is about everything going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I also liked how, because he was bringing up examples of other carnivores, and one of the ones he said was like, oh, carnivores who love herbivores, and that's why they eat them. Like, and then I also remember thinking about.
Like sometimes you be eating the pussy so hard you go too far, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave now.
I hate that I've read the manga because like what you just said like activated like these synapses in my brain with things that happen, and I can't talk about it, and I'm so mad.
Oh no. Which synapses, Vindy?
Not in a sexual way, dumbass.
I can't be
Debatable.
sure with you, Vindy. I really
Honestly,
can't be sure.
that's fair because it's like 97% sexual, like 3% analytical. Still more analytical than most anti-tubers, though.
Oh.
I mean, I'm gonna make an entire video to say that people in Japan look back on their youth fondly, so that's why they would make a sports series set in high school. I'm gonna make a 4-minute video just to say that.
You have to have 3 different titles too,
And 2
then
terrible
one thumbnail
thumbnails.
with, like, so mean.
We're so fucking
so
mean,
toxic.
and the thing is, nobody we're mean to is ever gonna watch this stuff.
Exactly.
All right.
I do like the Panda Boy. He was
Panda
great.
Boy's
Um,
such a Chad.
What? Why does he just have bunny porn just in his room?
for therapy.
For therapy.
It's therapy porn.
Oh, therapy
Well,
porn.
I love the panda because he is the perfect example of what society would consider a well-adjusted carnivore, right? Because he's a carnivore who only eats plants because he's an herbivore. But at the same time, what's interesting about it is that like he can only get away with that because he's a panda, and pandas can live solely off bamboo.
Right. Other carnivores don't like some like I say a bear. They can be omnivorous, but something that's purely carnivorous. They're fucked. So yeah, I'm about done with things to say about the episode. It was very good. Obviously the favorite of the week.
It's the best
As
episode
always.
ever because it's just the best show. It's anime of the year.
You got a license for those wings, sir? You got a license for those wings?
I loved the little like almost throwaway line where like he asks the other bird guys like, "Don't you have your fucking built-in navigation shit?" And he's like, "Dude, like I'm not a migratory bird." Like those kind of like little conversations that happen, or like when Bill's talking about how he is attracted.
Did you just assume my species?
Like when Bill's talking about like how he enjoys the stripes of another tiger. It's like those little throwaway things. Like I remember when because you're reading the manga along Craftsdwarf, right? And you sent me some manga pictures that were just kind of like some extra little world building that the manga has built in. And I think that kind of stuff is what makes Beastars so special. Is that like, Paru is like fucking the mangaka has thought so much about this world that like so much of it is so well planned out. That like there will be all this small little world building that's just kind of thrown in throughout, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, the one I sent you because you spoiled it this episode, but there is aquatic, presumably sentient life, and I linked you an image from the manga where Lugosi has a textbook that says marine languages, which makes sense because if we assume mammals are sentient, then dolphins and whales they speak in like weird frequencies.
I mean,
and stuff.
I don't think it's much of a spoiler to assume aquatic life is different since you literally never see a fish. But
right, we haven't heard of like fish haven't been like bugs were mentioned in the manga. Fish. Not except for that like one thing in marine languages, which is like maybe a bit.
But
of
I think it's a reasonable assumption to think we haven't seen fish. they probably have their own society. You know what I mean?
Wait. Hold on. So if there's fish, right, and the ongoing conflict is that like fish, like some fish eat. Other fish,
no.
right?
The manga's explained all that. Don't worry. The manga's explained all that.
This is fucking. It's fucking
no.
Shark Tale.
No.
It's fucking Shark Tale, bro. Beastars is gonna turn into.
Oh
Shark
my
Tale,
god!
bro.
All these talking animal movies are canon in Beastars.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I'm at the car.
When is Sid the Rat showing up in Beastars?
I already have. It's called me drawing in little pictures of me
Vindy does,
kissing
oh.
Legosi into every page of my manga volume.
We're gonna move on now.
God,
I wanna
I'm
move
so
on.
funny. All right, we can move to
Move on.
MHA.
あの日守ると決めた約束はこの胸に
Good fucking episode. I cried.
Wow. This episode really reminded me of the time that Deku got the power of One for All.
Fuck
the power that like All Might gave him. When
This
when
episode
had
didn't
no
even
powers.
flash back to that when it so totally could. It was great.
Yeah, I know, this is
It was a
good.
great episode.
Yeah. Ooh, what a hero would do. A hero would stand up for little
I was talking to
girl.
Craftsdwarf a little bit about this before. Well, so the Aerie stuff's really good. But I mentioned this, and I want to bring this up because I talk about how like I don't think that Hunter x Hunter 2011 is a great adaptation because I think it loses a lot of the tonally it's all over the place in a way that the manga isn't. And I think that like okay, so the scene where Overhaul, I think it's Chisaki, is his name. It's like Chiaki or Chisaki or whatever, but Overhaul, when he kills that guy in his base, right? In the manga, the way that that's shown is it's like a side shot. So you see Overhaul swing his arm and you see the guy kind of explode into blood. And it's way more gory, right? And it's super dark and super shocking. And I think that the anime, obviously you can't show a guy exploding into blood on a TV anime, right? The kids are watching. But I think the way that they do it is a great way of like skirting past the censorship while still keeping the same tone in the shot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they keep the blood. Like you see him turn into a blood stain.
Well,
but
and
you
then
don't see him,
Chisaki's like covered in
explode
blood.
and,
Yeah, like it's
like
a
I was
great
saying
way to
before,
keep
it's
the
like,
tone.
yeah, they manage it by not showing it specifically. Letting the mind fill in the gap, basically.
Right.
Instead, because
And
they
so
can't
I
just
like that was
show
something that
the
I
gap.
noted because like that manga panel, I think it might be a spread, but whatever. Or no, it might be like a flat panel at the bottom of a page that takes up like a third of the page or something. But like that panel is like etched into my mind because I remember being like, holy shit, when it happened. So I immediately realized like that's not how it was in the manga, but I thought it was still like super like good. And like it kind of conveyed the exact same tone, just maybe losing a little bit of the shock factor, but that's understandable because it has censorship it has to get past,
Yeah.
God, I forgot how fucking tense the moment was where like Deku was trying to like save Aerie. Like the whole fucking Mirio's like, dude, fucking stop, we're gonna get exposed, stop.
See, and it is kind of frustrating, or at least it was for me, because like Deku's obviously doing the right thing. And especially, like, we have the context of, the whole thing and just the show in general.
This moment
like,
sets
Deku's
up,
right.
I think, my favorite moment of the
like,
arc.
well-
Which I can't say when, but it's another one of those pages that's, like, burned into my mind. It happens later, and it's those two reflecting back on this. And I think it might be the most powerful moment of the arc for me.
Well, because what I was going to say is, because I've been reading A versus B from later, and I'm not going to, give the context, obviously, but there was a line where a character was talking about how, like, there's kind of a contradiction where it's like they obviously can't copy their idols, so they have to act not quite heroically. Like, they can't just be heroic, like, just like their idols. They have to... So Deku is, being more heroic than his idols, but Mirio is just he's the one who's just like All Might. So... to the point of
I was
not
just saying,
acting
I almost
like
see it
that
as
was
like
the
a
whole
right, and like that
busting
kind of
first-
comes in later in the episode where like
I know, right? Well, I like that's
Right,
the thing. I'm not
but-
saying that because
oh my
like,
God.
as if we don't. Yeah, we all understand this perfectly. It's
I
just
want to
like,
let what go in
I'm
a
comparing
second.
it to
I
a
want to
future
let
thing,
what go and
maybe,
scream
some
about
of the
how
audience
people are
is like,
dumb when they
oh,
say
Craftsdwarf.
when they miss the point of it. But well, I love because even like towards the end, because like I love the way it shows like they're communicating with the looks they're giving each other and their actions, and like it even shows that like they're even like almost responding to what the other person's saying in their heads without talking about it. And I love when shit like that happens. And I love that Deku even convinces Mirio to go to his side a little bit. And like realize like, yeah, Deku is correct here.
It was fucking.
Oh yeah.
It was really fucking tense though, and it was like the way they executed it, and it was like every single move that they did was like another step, and then he leads them into the alleyway, and him just reaching for his glove causes Eri to freak out.
Like, you know, I feel like it's great because we normally talk about shitty of an adaptation Bones does and how bare Bones have won, but I thought this episode was like actually like really fucking good. Like I felt Eri's like fear as she's clinging to Deku. You know what I mean?
It's because like they take certain moments in Boku no Hero's anime they're executed really well. Some of them are like with the All Might pointing at Deku saying you're next, that kind of just aren't as good. And sometimes it's every single time Deku keeps mentioning the power of One for All, the power that All Might gave him, the power that he had when he had no powers before. It's when they just straight up just give you. It's when they take advantage of what they have and they actually do panel for panel. Like, which is why when I heard, again, I mean it when I say this. When you say it's panel for panel, I kind of look at the anime and I remember the manga. I'm like, no.
What I mean though, when I say that the majority of the time, is that like I feel like a lot of times because like MHA has a lot, I feel like, of padding sometimes to like stretch episodes out, but I feel like when MHA is outside of some parts in this episode, which I mentioned, I think a lot of times when MHA is trying to adapt specifically from the manga, it does do a lot of like, especially when it does stills, most of those stills do just come from the manga and they're just drawing it with lower like quality art. And like I think that like the best way almost to describe like the scenes, and let me know if you disagree, but like I think that the scenes that like aren't the super big impact scenes that are like almost connected to fights, but like kind of the more emotional, like character driven scenes that are setups to the fights, the anime kind of nails. But it's the big payoff scene, I think a lot of times the anime flubs, right? Like the All Might scene there, the anime flubs. But another scene that I think the anime did really well is previously when the scene where All Might begs Deku's mom to let Deku stay in school and let him go to the dorms. I thought the anime did maybe better than the manga because that was a scene where the visuals didn't matter as much and they could let the voice actors and music kind of shine. And I think this episode also had some of those scenes. But I think when it comes to a big payoff scene where you need to be flashy and like instantly emotional like, and cool after a fight, the anime almost always flubs in comparison to the manga.
Well, it's because the issue with like Boku no Hero's manga is that like those moments are like entirely based in like giant like one like panel spreads or things like that Horikoshi does, that with the art's really intense, like it's all the framing and shit like that. Like I can just envision All Might pointing his finger and it's like this really cool shot, and then you go to the anime and they're like, we're 30 minutes later, the police showed up and here All Might's pointing his finger and shit like that. But
it's funny how you guys are like, oh
because
man, the parts that the anime doesn't.
I legitimately think it is the single most important moment in the manga up to now, and I think the anime fucked it up hardcore. And I think like, and they even just for that, I would say if somebody's gonna say someone finishes season 4 of My Hero Academia and is like, I want to read the manga, I would tell them to at the very least go back to the Bakugo retrieval arc, which is what I will always call it because I think that's the best name for it. But I would always tell them to go back to the Bakugo retrieval arc at the very least, but probably start from the beginning. No, but that's what 4chan used to call it. Back when I would spend a lot of time in 4chan MHA threads. That's what it was called there. And it look, I can talk about 4chan MHA threads another day because there's something else. They're
disgusting, man.
Yeah. Well, he
you know who else uses 4chan?
Is dumb and doesn't I can go into another rant about how he both tries to play. Look, okay, I'm just gonna do it now. Okay, look, you can't say that like you're staying anonymous for the same reasons that 4chan is anonymous and those same reasons, but then also try to build a cult of personality at the same time. The reason that 4chan is anonymous and that works is because on 4chan, what you're saying is directly carried by either how funny your shitpost is or the weight of your fucking comment, right? So, like, everything is carried by directly your post and your post alone, and that's why the anonymity on 4chan works. But unless you're someone who uses a name, in which case, get off the site, you don't understand. But you can't say you're anonymous because you spent a lot of time on 4chan, but then also have a Twitter account and a YouTube account and kind of try to, like, build this cult of personality around yourself for who you are. But then also be like, oh, well, I'm anonymous, like on 4chan. Because the second you try to build a cult of personality and become an e-celeb, you miss the point of anonymity on 4chan. I fucking hate him.
Well, anyway. I'm gonna bring up the pacing word because pacing is a good thing this episode. The way that scene was executed, I actually felt fucking chills during that scene that Eddie was like hugging on the Deku. Every single thing they did was like timed perfectly well, and I was like, yes, this is
I love
good.
Yuki Hayashi.
I like
what a
this,
hero.
and the music was accentuating it well, and the whole thing, and the voice acting.
I think he's my favorite composer. I fucking
Yuki
love him.
Hayashi makes my fucking dick rock hard. Holy shit. Oh god. Yeah, but like okay. And then the scene where like they're like Deku's talking to All Might about like what happened before. God. The music really and the way the music really accentuates every single fucking scene.
It was great.
God. Ooh.
I'm so happy we can finally
good.
gush about MHA. I'm so happy about this.
I enjoy. I'm so happy it's good.
Oh my god, the manga is so good right now.
It's actually good in the manga right now.
The last chapter was great. Catch up to the MHA manga, but I loved all the shit going on with all. Like I was so excited for this episode, not even just for the Eri stuff, which I do want to mention. Last time we talked about MHA, we talked about how at the end of the credits it showed Eri bumping into Deku from Eri's perspective, and that I was worried it would just kind of skip over that. But I was glad that it went back to Deku and Mirio's perspective from a little bit earlier and had their conversations about their hero names, and then into the bump. But like I was excited for this episode because this conversation between All Might and Deku is one of my favorite moments in MHA, and I was so excited to see it done because like I love that, you know, there's like this whole like two-way thing because like Deku and All Might almost have like this kind of like they almost have two relationships, right? There's Deku revering All Might as a fan, and then there's Deku and All Might being, you know, mentor mentee, right? Or like a father something, which is almost touched upon more when he mentions I want to live like because your mom asked me to raise you. I'm gonna cry like thinking about that shit, but
God, that was so good. And he was like, I actually started tearing up a bit during that part. He's like, I thought I was going to die when I fought.
But that is a good use of flashback scenes because they do use some flashback scenes there. But it accentuates the conversation and it shows what All Might's talking about, as opposed to the joke you like to make, where it's like someone says something, Deku's like, that reminds me of the time that I got all for one, and it shows the same scene. Like that's the time where they use flashbacks and it works for the actual anime.
Okay, I just have to say, I'm glad I'm not the only one who has to like.
I don't think anyone actually knows. I still don't know which is which. I just say one of them and just.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
It's one for all. One for all.
It's easy.
It's one.
Well,
for
it's
all
easy to
for
know
all
when's for
Might.
which when you think about it, but it's like trying to think of it
Which
in
is
like
by
the
design,
moment of a conversation, or just like because there are very similar names. But yeah.
It's almost like they're direct parallels of foils. Just like Deku and Shigaraki, which is why Deku and Shigaraki are
like again.
Okay. But and as Deku teams up with Mirio and Night Eye and all these other heroes, guess what? Shigaraki's teaming up with Overhaul and all that. Okay, but
anyway,
like, like I love it. I love that conversation because it kind of shows this like massive shift in their relationship from Deku and All Might being, I feel like, almost predominantly, you know, fan celebrity kind of, to from this point on, they're almost 100% mentor mentee father son kind of thing, right? Like at this point, All Might and Deku kind of drop. And I mean, Deku's still a huge All Might fan, but they kind of drop the, okay, I was a massive fan of you. And it becomes much more of a, help me master this quirk. Let me help you. You know, I am your successor. I'm going to be the next you. And I feel like there's this massive shift in their relationship here. And the anime did it fucking beautifully. Do it. I want to let you go.
Can I rant? Is it time? Can I shit on people? If you think Mirio is a better fit for being the successor for All Might, you are literally the stupidest person on the planet who can't even listen or read. It's like...
It is really funny how many people miss the fucking point when the show very much states everything outright. Like, that was the thing is, like, when you were making your videos, I was like, you said something, I was like, you should read the manga because this exact point, like, almost word for word is like something you said about Bakugo and Deku came up in the manga, and it did, and then you're reading it, and it's like, wow, how the fuck do people miss the point of My Hero
They like to make 4-minute videos about how people in Japan look back fondly on their high school life, so Haikyuu is good because they're looking back fondly on high school, when that's the whole point of every goddamn high school manga. How do you miss it? I'm angry.
Wow. It's like, okay. Mirio's name is literally, he's like explaining his name. He's like, well, if All Might couldn't
but that's
save
a great
everybody,
example.
I'll
it's like
save a
Mirio
million.
tries
And
to
I'm
save
like,
a million. Deku wants to
they're
save
foreshadowing
literally
it right
everyone.
there for you. I'm like,
right, well, because, like, you know, if it says a million, he's got to make, you know, concessions or exceptions there, and Eri would have been one if Mirio was in charge, because he's like, I'll save everyone except this little girl. Like,
but that's why Deku and
No, Deku wants to save everyone. Bakugo wants to win.
Because Deku wants to win, and Deku wants to win now. No, listen. Because he's like, that's what he said. He's like, I want to save everyone. It was like when they merged together, instead of Deku just saying, I want to save everyone at the, because it was before it was like save everyone at the expense of himself. Now it's in order to saving everyone means I
hold
win.
on.
It's
I'm sorry.
Saving everyone being able
when
to
you
do
say that
so
they merged
effectively
together, are
means
you
I
saying
win,
that at some
right?
point in the future we will see a Bakugo Deku fusion dance where they fuse together and we get Baku Deku, Badeku?
Yes, let us see it. Can Horikoshi, if you're listening to this right now, can the final fight of Boku no Hero Academia be like Bakugo and Deku merging together become Baku Deku?
Badeku, yeah.
No, come on, Badaku.
I
There.
said Badeku.
Shut up, you pussy.
It's not my fault you guys are bad at names.
No, I just
Whatever.
made a noise. I
But
didn't
badly.
burp.
Whatever. You fucking burped. Stupid dick. Anyway,
All I had to say about
it's
the
like-
episode was All Might is really cool, and
I
what the
was
fuck was
looking
with
at
those
the trees.
gross
My
ass
eyes were
fucking
too
trees
teary.
at the very end of the episode? They looked like, what the fuck were they doing?
I was crying too much.
Like,
Look, I'm not sad to admit that I fucking was crying hard as shit. That, like, the scene where, like, it started when the music started to swell and All Might started to talk about how he only survived the All for One fight because of Deku. That's when I started crying and I didn't stop till the episode ended.
Yeah, because he thought of what Deku. Okay, I'm sorry. Every single week the show plays that opening. I think the opening gets better every week, and I still hold by my opinion that it's the best opening because visuals matter, everybody, and the visuals in the fucking new Boku no Hero opening are so good. Night Eye reaching out for
Oh my
All
God.
Might
I also
and missing.
I love the
and then
line
All Might's
that All
running
Might
with
says
the
to
fucking
Night
outfit.
Eye. About where he says like he says, you know, or Night Eye says like, you're really gonna pick this quirkless middle school kid for your successor instead of Mirio, and he says like a quirkless middle school kid is good too. Like, well, it's not even just that. That was like seeing in the anime
Because
kind
that's
of
what
when
he
it like
was.
really hard hit me. Of like you know, at a certain point the manga's made to kind of like inspire young kids, and that was when it really kind of hit me. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, a middle school kid is good too. You know what I mean? Like it was like, fuck yeah, go for it. Do your motivational speeches through All Might Horchie. I fucking respect the hustle.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hold on, Vindy. Hold on. If there are people, if Night Eye believes that someone with the quirk like Mirio, who is the top and has been trained to be the best, is better for the quirk of One for All,
well,
does that not mean?
Here's my problem with you saying that is like if we're gonna make a eugenics parallel in MHA, why don't we just talk about actual eugenics master, man who is 5 seconds away from making a Hitler mustache out of fire, my hero Endeavor. Look, I say that, but at the same time, Endeavor's great, and anyone who says like, "Oh, Endeavor was an abuser, so he's not allowed to redeem himself," you're stupid, and you're gonna miss some of the best shit that the manga's got going on right now with Endeavor trying to redeem himself.
Well, to be fair, anyone who's a fan of Boku no Hero automatically, like most Boku no Hero fans, have the intelligence of a worm. So it's like,
Yeah. I don't know if it's that they're children or they just stopped watching Disney movies last month and this is like their first anime.
I've seen some of them. They are adults.
Like the only reason
that's 100%
like they bought Crunchyroll is because MHA isn't on their Disney Plus subscription.
Okay.
I mean, Marvel and Jump kind of had that thing going for a while.
Don't even joke about that. It's just a matter of time. Yeah.
It's gonna be Deku. It's gonna be Mickey Mouse. It's gonna be Spider-Man. It's gonna be Homer Simpson.
Mickey Mouse, and we're gonna be fucking
Ariel, like the Little Mermaid, and Han Solo, all next to each other, jerking each other off. I'm Han Solo. Okay.
So
we're gonna end the episode.
We're gonna end the episode now. On that note,
two things. We can't end the episode yet.
Also, it doesn't make sense for Han Solo to be.
First thing, we have to go over comments from the last episode, and I'm mad. All the comments from the last episode were just about fucking fasting. Look.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna let y'all know something. No, because I was making fun of Rika Fag for fasting. Look, anytime we are making fun of someone clearly and aren't stating a name, it is 90% of the time Rika Fag. So if I say something, like, if we say, like, oh my god, Beastars is about eugenics, we're making fun of one man, okay? I'm just gonna say this now. We are making fun of the same man every time, okay? The Haikyuu stuff about high school, different guy. But we're not gonna talk about him. We're talking about Rika Fag when we say,
it's not...
Don't talk about him. Don't talk about him. We're talking about Mr.
If we talk about that other guy, he might like that, though.
Okay?
He'll get some more
That's
views
what I'm
than he usually does.
I know. Generally, when people fast for a month, they don't eat for a whole month. But the guy we're talking about didn't eat for a whole month because he doesn't understand what fasting is. Because he's maybe the dumb. He is a fucking the peak example of a pseudo intellectual and a man who thinks he is smarter than he is when he's not. Okay, that's the first rant. I have a second rant to go on, and what agrees with this. I told what I was going to go on this rant, and I need to go on it now.
Fucking
okay,
going
look,
off.
if you say mangas or animes, you should be put in a fucking mental institution or a group home because you can't function in society. Look, manga and anime are singular terms.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say Chinese is. You wouldn't say Japanese is. I did steal your joke, and I'm... that was what the what's joke. But look,
you stole my joke.
Say,
you stole my joke that I stole from Top Thunder.
Or mooses is a meme because moose and goose are... well, no, it's geese. But geese is the plural of moose, and moose is the plural of moose, right? You don't say meese, that's a joke, right? In the same way, mangas and animes are dumb, okay? And you go, oh, it's a joke, I'm joking. They are fucking plural and singular at the same time. Don't say animes, you sound fucking stupid when you say it. Don't say mangas, you sound fucking stupid when you say it.
No.
I'm actually so mad about this.
No, say mangas with an apostrophe.
Well, two things. One, Japan doesn't actually have plurals. Like, you just have to understand the context of the like. Neko is cat and cats, basically.
Nekos.
Two,
but if you say animus or mangoes, I'll take it. But if you say, oh my god, that's one of my favorite animes, you're either dumb or you're pretending to be dumb. But you're not funny at pretending to be dumb.
We're gonna have to execute some.
I'm actually.
We're gonna have to execute some eugenics on you. You know.
No. But I'm not mad. Here's the difference. I'm not mad at what. I'm mad at.
Now we're gonna be mad again.
Dumbass people online.
Again.
What I love you. No, shut up. Okay, we're into the episode now.
Vindy.
I got my rants out of the way.
Black Clover. Black Clover. Black Clover. God,
We've already skipped the training arc. We've seen Asta's new thing.
They're gonna fucking start
Oh
training.
my god,
They're gonna get ready to fight
Tabata
Demon
likes
Boy.
to
Oh my
steal
God,
from
so
other
fucking hype.
shonen.
So fucking
Asta
hype.
has a big scar.
I'm so
Who knew
fucking-
that was coming?
Oh man, I'm so fucking. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, end of the
Oh my
episode.
god. Oh god. Fucking yeah. Boku no Hero. Black Clover is so fucking cool. Oh my god.
I fucking hate you both.
Craftsdwarf.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's right. That's good.